Hey guys, it's me. So this is my MEPS experience part 1. I don't know how many parts there are gonna be yet, but stay tuned for more after today. So, for my first experience at MEPS, I went to the recruiting office after my microbiome lab, and during that and after my bio lab, I went to the recruiting office so that I could be driven to the hotel. Because overnight you stay in a hotel when you go to MEPS. The hotel that I stayed at was a Sheraton in Columbia, but at the office before going to the hotel, Sergeant number 1 left me a packet to fill out as if I was at MEPS. And then Sergeant number 2 drove me to MEPS, where when I arrived at the hotel, a host took me to the check-in office for MEPS, and that's where I got my room key and 2 meal vouchers. So for dinner you get you have to eat at the hotel, and then again for breakfast. So that's very nice. So once I was squared away in my room, I called Sergeant number 3, who then just let him know I was okay and everything, got there fine, and then after that I went to go get dinner, and for dinner you have 5 or 6 options to choose from. I had grilled chicken, corn, and some rice. It's very good food, and in my opinion it was good. And then after dinner, I went back up to my room. I thought when I entered my room that I was in the wrong room. But then I saw my bag, and I forgot, oh wait, yeah, we have roommates. Yeah. I forgot about that part. But my bag was on my bed, so I knew it was the right room. And then I changed into exercise clothes and went on the treadmill, and I think I ran a mile and a half before being called in the middle of my workout by Sergeant number 4. And Sergeant number 4 wanted to basically be like, look, make sure that you stick to the story that's between you and your recruiters, and that you don't get my recruiters in trouble. And I was like, yeah, no problem. I knew the drill kind of by then. And then after that I went to go finish my workout, and then I went to take a shower, got ready for bed, and by 7 I was asleep. And then shortly after, maybe an hour or so, I got a text from Sergeant number 1. And he was like, yeah, that's not... And I'm like, yes, it is. It's alright. And yeah. So he called me, and I'm like, I'm going to bed. Because I knew that I needed to get my sleep. I knew that I had to get my sleep. And then, so I went back to sleep, and then at about 9 or maybe 10 or so, my roommate comes back. And she's talking to someone. This someone's not supposed to be here. And she they were talking loudly and just didn't have any regard for like me being asleep, I guess. I mean, whatever. And then she was up the entire night making phone calls. One of those phone calls was like her having a pregnancy scare. And I'm like, what? Good luck tomorrow in my head. But anyways, we woke up I woke up at 3:30. I don't think she got any sleep, to be completely honest. And for breakfast, so I got ready, got dressed, yada. At about like 4 or so, I went downstairs and got breakfast. For breakfast, I basically had a pile of fegs. And what fegs are those eggs that you pour out of a carton, and they make a whole bunch of them. I had to force myself to eat them because they were disgusting. Like, so disgusting that I just felt like I couldn't eat them. And that's not good. And then at 8, and then at 5:20 or so, we had to be outside of like the breakfast hall for roll call. And then when they called your name, you show them your ID card, and then you go up the stairs to where the bus is supposed to be. The bus, oh my god, the bus was late. And so it didn't get to the hotel until like 5:45, and we're supposed to be at MEPS by like 6, and we get to MEPS, and then we get off the bus, and we're instructed to get to 2 lines. 1 line for shippers and inspects, and 1 line for testers and physicals. I had to start a 3rd line because, it just got way too long, so I had to start like a 3rd line. And then when you entered, you put your bag through a metal through an X-ray machine, and you go through a metal detector. It's kind of like an airport in a way at the beginning, and then you put your bags in baggage storage, and you have to like give them, you can't use your phone, you can't wear a watch, just make sure you don't have any contraband on you. Just don't bring anything that's sharp. Cigarettes, don't bring drugs, don't bring alcohol, don't bring mace or pepper spray. Don't bring any of that. Just don't. Just don't, okay? And then after going through the scanner and everything, we lined up and checked in. At check-in, I got kind of picked on a little bit, because of my shoe size. And I have tiny feet. Very tiny feet. To be completely honest, my feet are very, very small. And so then after that happened, we then went to our liaison office to get our name tags and medical folders. The shippers and inspects went first because they were supposed to be fast and everything. There weren't any shippers that day. There were a bunch of inspects though. And there were also a bunch of full physicals. And then we went into a room for the medical briefing, which we had to wait a while before they did the briefing because we had to wait on the Marines to get their recruits' paperwork in order. I'm not dissing the Marines. The Marines are part of the military family. We are all part of a huge family. And we're all connected, brothers and sisters, yeah, in a way. And then, after that, we did hearing and vision tests. So, for the hearing test, you're in this, I was the first person to go, with another guy, and you're in this booth, this soundproof booth, and then you put on these ginormous headphones to even block in the sound even more, or block out the sound even more. And then they give you instructions, and you're supposed to hold this clicker thing. So, and when the sound goes off, you're supposed to click it. Well, the sound, you can hear it, but it sounds very distant, as if someone far, far away was giving you the sound. So, a trick that a lot of people give is 1, 2, 3, click, and 1, 2, 3, click. 1, 2, 3, click. 1, 2, 3, click. And you get the point. But I didn't do that because I concentrate. If you concentrate very, very, very hard on this, you can get all the tones. And so I just concentrated. Because I'm like, I don't know if this is right. So I just decided to concentrate on the different tones to make sure that I was hearing them. It's not as hard as you think it would be. It's just, if you can't hear them, remember the 1, 2, 3, click. 1, 2, 3, click. 1, 2, 3, click. Yeah, that was one of those things that you had to do. And then after the hearing test, so they do one ear and then the other, and I think they do both at the same time. And then after hearing, I got my vision done, and that's like the intake of like the vision type of thing. If you were to go to like a doctor's office type of thing, or you put your head on this machine or chin on this machine, and you put your forehead in, and then they go in and they check your eyes. And for me, since I'm wearing glasses, they had to like check the glasses, I guess, against the light or something. I don't know. I didn't quite understand that part, but when you put your head to the machine, I think that's like depth perception. And then they also were checking to make sure that you can, like, with corrected lenses, that it goes to, that your vision goes to 20/20, which to me it does, luckily. And then after the vision, we went into another room, all of us together, to do vitals and paperwork. Oh my god. This is the part where you basically have to just listen to the guy and do as they say. Do as they say. And luckily my guy was actually very nice and was like, yeah, basically you're all healthy today. My guy was very nice about reminding us about that in a way. He was an ex-Marine. He was actually very funny, but I kind of got a little bit mad at him because he would go off on these tangents, and at this point, you're drinking a lot of water, and the reason why you're drinking a lot of water is because in a few minutes, you're supposed to like go to the bathroom and for a drug test. So you're supposed to be able to fill up like a nice sized specimen cup full of your urine. And if you can't do it within a certain period of time, you have to come back. I was like, I'm not coming back. Not for that, at least. And then I found out that and then they like do your vitals and they take you through the paperwork, and if you like don't pay attention when you do your paperwork, you're gonna mess up, and if you mess up, you're in trouble. So don't mess up and pay attention, and don't go farther than when they tell you to. Just do what they tell you to at MEPS. Like, it's as simple as that. And then after the paperwork, they gave us a breathalyzer to make sure that there wasn't any alcohol in our system. Yeah. And then after the breathalyzer, we were instructed to go get our blood drawn. So for me, that took a while because they had to stick me not once, not twice, but 3 times. Three times. And it was my fault. My fault, not theirs. I was told that I was going to be allowed to watch them draw my blood. But, so the first arm, they like yank it out far like this, like they yank it out, and they tell you make your fist, and they pound on your arm to get the blood to come, the veins to come up to the surface, so that they can, get a nice vein. And I think my head is far enough back. But no, they apparently created a shadow. So they missed my vein. My veins, for those of you that don't know, are very, very good. I'll show you. Like, those are my veins. Like, that is a very, like, those are very good veins. So they missed on that arm. So then they were like, okay, let's do your left arm. And they tried my left arm. And again, I had a shadow because of my head. Bear in mind, I'm like way back here just wanting to watch. So, whatever. And then they didn't get it that time. So they were like, okay, sit in this chair. They're going to do it for you then. But no, I have to get up, walk to a chair off to the side of the room, and then... Wait, what time is it? Okay, I have to go sit. I'm going to finish this up, though. And then I watch a person basically pass out twice. They can't stick her they stick her twice because they can't get blood in one vein, so then they have to get another one. She apparently had deep veins, which makes it harder to get blood from. And then that happened, and yeah, that happened, and then I wanted, okay, that happened, and then it was my turn again. I, was like, okay, I just want to get this done, so instead of watching, like they told me that I could, I look away, pull far, far away, look away, and they stick me that time, and it's good. So I get stick 3 times, and then after blood, I was instructed to go into like the female waiting room so that we can do urine analysis. And so I'm like second or third in line for urine analysis, which I was like, yes, I'm so close in line. I'll get to pee soon. Bear in mind, I didn't pee since like I woke up. So it was a few hours since I like went to the bathroom, you know? Which is a good thing. Meant that I wasn't gonna have to stay behind or come back because of that. So when the doctor comes, I'm maybe next in line. But no, I have to give up my place in line because she chose me to talk to first for medical history. So I go in with the doctor, and she's like, okay, so this is the part where you absolutely have to stick to the story that you and your recruiter came up with. You have to. No matter what. You have to, okay? So I stuck to my story, and then after the medical interview and history and whatnot, I then get back online for urine analysis, and for that, they watch you pee. So, when it was my turn, I went into the stall, opened up the cup thing, undid my pants, pulled them down, did my business, filled the cup in like 5 seconds, and then peed for like another 5 minutes. Yeah. I had a lot of fluid in my system. And then they don't let you wash your hands afterwards until they finish with your sample. And for ladies, they give you not only a drug test, which is what the point is, but also to check for protein and sugar in your urine. My urine was fine. But ladies, they give you a pregnancy test. Well, yeah, they give you a pregnancy test, so to make sure that you're not pregnant. Yeah. I don't know what happened to that girl who had that pregnancy scare. I don't know. And they do that, and then you do the underwear Olympics. I'm gonna make a whole video on that, and it's basically the neurophysical check thing, where this is the part where you do the infamous duck walk. I'll make a whole video on like the different moves and everything another time. I'm just running out of time to do certain things. And this is also where you do your height and weight. And then when you're done with the underwear Olympics, you go back and see the doctor for a checkup. Like if you were to normally go to the doctor. During this exam, I found out that I have a hard time following a doctor's finger with my eyes. And I didn't know of this before. So, because of that, I had to get an eye consult, but I can't get the eye consult yet because I didn't pass my height and weight. Yeah. But during this physical part, they check for scoliosis. Ladies, they check for lumps and bumps in your breasts. They have you lay on your side to check your anus. And then they pull apart the lips of your vagina to make sure it's all good. Yeah, that was uncomfortable and made me feel so dirty and disgusting and a little violated, to be completely honest. But that's okay. They were doing their job. I just felt dirty the rest of the day. And then after that, I got dressed and was instructed to give my forms in. And so I did. My physical ended there. I passed everything else except for height and weight and that eye thing. And so now I have to go back. And I wasn't too happy about that, but I got to have lunch. And during lunch, I was allowed to use my phone. And during lunch, I made a friend. Her name, I'm not going to say, but she enlisted that day into the National Guard. And I was so happy for her. And then at the end of the day, one of the company driver, he came and picked me and another guy up and took him first, and then me second back to Loyola, and then I carried on with my day. So that's the end of my MEPS experience part 1. I think next week I'll do a part 2. And then when my eye consult happens, I'll do a part 3. And whatever else happens, I'll continue doing that. In the meantime, have a good one. Leave a comment down below. Give this video a like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll make a video shortly about the Underwear Olympics and my second time at MEPS. Alright, good night.